Hey, Maria. Are you going to be working a night shift at that cleaning job of yours again today?
Yes, Lucio. If it's dinner you're worried about, then I put it in the fridge, so just put it in the oven if you want to eat.
That's not what I'm talking about. It's a problem that you're always working night shifts because it's simply unnatural for a wife to be doing such a thing. That cleaning company of yours you work at, surely there are also jobs during the day, right? Why don't you just stop working night shifts and switch to doing day job shifts instead?
Oh, why should I do that? You can earn more money working night shifts than by working day shifts since there's a bonus. I don't think this is the case, but you're not making fun of my job again, are you?
Well, I did just get scolded for doing that at our last family gathering. Our son Glauco getting mad at me was especially humiliating, which is why I don't intend on bringing it up again.
It's fine if that's the case, but I still can't get over how you told me that if you've got that time to clean for someone else, then clean the house, will you? I mean, I would if it made money, but it doesn't.
Yeah, whatever. I still don't think I like my wife cleaning for someone else. Actually, I don't care if they get mad at me anymore. I'll say whatever I want to say because I'm the husband and pillar of his family. I don't like how you're always working night shifts.
Huh? So now you're not just making fun of my job, but you're also making fun of night shifts as well? And what do you mean you're the pillar of this family, Lucio? Where did you even get that idea?
I'm the husband, and the husband is the pillar of the family. And I'm not making fun of you. This is a valid complaint. To think that our son Glauco is about to get married, yet there's still one person in the family who has a different schedule than everyone else. Seriously, do you know how annoying it is to see you go off to work every night just as I'm about to go to bed? Have you ever thought about what Glauco's new wife Nadia is going to think when she comes here and sees you doing night shifts every day? You're surely going to be looked down upon by Nadia if she finds out that her mother-in-law works night shifts as a cleaner.
No, Nadia isn't the kind of person who would judge others based on something so superficial. And what are you even talking about? I never heard that Nadia was going to be living with us.
Well, she is. Now you know, I guess.
But this is the first time anyone's told me this.
I mean, our son Glauco is our only child, and he still lives with us at our house. So it isn't only natural that his wife would come and live with us once they get married? Which means that you're going to have to live with your daughter-in-law. And I'm not going to have any of it if you two start fighting. Also, if you work night shifts, there's going to be a possibility that you're going to make Nadia do all the housework that needs to be done during the day.
Seriously? That's the main point of your argument? Why don't you and Glauco do the housework if you're so worried about Nadia having to do everything?
No! Housework is a woman's job. Jesus, Maria, do you have no common sense?
Huh? Wow. So that's how you're going to be. Seriously, you're the only person in this family who still thinks like that. This is 2023, Lucio, not the 60s. Besides, you don't even understand why I'm working night shift in the first place. Trying to argue with you makes my head hurt.
Huh? What are you talking about? I know it's 2024. Don't make fun of me.
My shift is about to begin, so I'll end the conversation here.
Hey, wait. I'm not done scolding you, Maria. Mother, is it true that you and Dad agreed to our marriage on a basis that we're going to be living with you?
Huh? Did your father tell you that?
Yeah, he did. You see, Father sent a letter to Nadia's house titled How to Be a Housewife. It's some sort of rule book he made for Nadia when she moves in here.
What? Seriously?
Sorry, Mom, but we don't intend on living with you guys, at least for the time being. I mean, I'm an only child. So me and Nadia agree that we'll probably have to move in with you guys at some point when you guys get older. But we're not ready to do that just yet, and we want some time for the two of us.
Don't believe what your father tells you. I never thought that you guys were going to be living with us anyways, because I heard about how you two got married and how you've already prepared a new house. Although your father should have heard about it as well. As usual, it seems to have flown completely over his head.
Maybe he forgot about it?
Yes, maybe he did. But knowing your father, it never went in his head in the first place. Please tell Nadia that your father is just causing trouble on his own, and at least I don't intend on making you guys move in with us. Tell her not to worry and that I'm sorry for my husband's actions. I'll do something about your father myself.
Understood. I'm counting on you then, Mother.
Hello, Lucio. There is something I want to talk to you about.
What is it?
It seems that you sent Glauco's wife a strange letter?
Oh, the one titled How to Be a Housewife, right? Those are my conditions that she has to agree to if she wants to live here.
What in the world do you think you're doing? Do you want to get in the way of your son's marriage or something? First of all, a title like that shouldn't be written by a grown man in his 50s. I was actually quite disturbed when I heard you wrote that. And second of all, Glauco and Nadia aren't going to be living with us. I already told you that they've already found a new house and that they're going to be moving there once they get married, right?
What? Of course they found a house they're going to be moving into once they get married. This house. And why in the world would I want to get in the way of my son's marriage? You're the one who's getting in the way of their marriage by working night shifts all the time. I'm telling you, this is going to cause problems between you and Nadia. At this rate, she's going to be one of those wives that looks down on their mother-in-law, and that's never any good.
I already told you that Nadia isn't the kind of person that would judge someone based on something that's superficial. Besides, when did we agree that Glauco and Nadia would be moving in with us after they got married? Because that's what you seem to be telling them.
I mean, it's obvious, so there's no need to say it, right? Of course they're going to be moving in with us. Oh, I get it now. Nadia's already started looking down on you. And this is your way of getting revenge and bullying her in return, isn't it?
Huh? Honestly, I'm impressed at your imagination, Lucio. If only you could use it for something a bit more useful. Who knows, you might make a good short story author or something.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about? Writing short stories isn't a proper profession, Maria. Anyways, if they move in with us, me and Glauco are going to find out about the tensions that you already have between you two. So you're trying to get them to not move in with us no matter what? This is why the quarrels between women are so hard to deal with.
What in the world are you talking about, Lucio?
I guess it can't be helped. You leave me no choice but to resort to my secret weapon. The daughter-in-law that starts looking down on her mother-in-law is a problem too, of course. But the start of all of this mess is you refusing to quit your night shifts. I don't want to deal with the two of you fighting in the house. So leave.
What? Are you being serious right now?
Yes. That also means I'm divorcing you. Don't consider this place your home anymore.
You're confusing me more and more, Lucio. You know that we're renting this apartment that we're currently living in, right? And of course, you also know who's the one paying for the rent, right? If you divorce me, then who's going to pay for the rent?
What? That's what you were worried about? I could pay 200 euros a month as well, you know.
Huh? 200 euros a month?
The rent for this apartment is 1,200 euros a month, right? Glauco pays 1,000 euros a month while you pay 200 euros a month, right? It won't make much of a difference whether I have to pay 200 euros a month or not, don't you think? Also, the housework isn't going to be a problem as well. Nadia is going to be moving in with us, so she'll take your place and do it for us when you're gone.
Wow, I just don't have any words anymore. I can't even bother to argue with you anymore since you seem to not understand a word I say. Fine, if you want to get divorced, then let's get divorced.
I see. All right, I'll get the divorce papers from the city hall. So could you pack your stuff while I'm doing that? So you can leave this house as soon as possible, you know? Mother? Dad said you two were going to get divorced.
Yeah, what he says is true this time. You see, I just couldn't find the motivation to argue with him anymore.
What happened?
Well, you see, he has a ton of misunderstandings, and he keeps deciding things on his own as if all that he says is true. He even said that he didn't tell me about you guys moving in with us since it's so obvious there was no need to tell me in the first place. Not only that, but he thinks me and Nadia are fighting now for some reason and says that it's my fault for not quitting my night shifts.
What?
Yeah, and you won't believe this, but he even thinks that the rent we have to pay for this house is 1,200 euros a month.
Huh? Where did he get that idea?
I know, right? He thinks that I pay 200 euros a month and that you pay 1,000 euros a month.
Huh?
Oh, and he even said that the housework isn't going to be a problem since once Nadia moves in, he's going to make her do it in my place.
Seriously?
There were a lot of other crazy things he told me, but I can't even bother to explain them to you anymore. I'll just send you and Nadia screenshots of the conversation we had by text later.
Looks like you had to put up with a lot, Mom.
That's an understatement, but thanks. You said that you and Nadia would be moving to your new house at the end of next month, right?
Yeah.
I plan on terminating the contract of our current house at the same time your dad and I get divorced. Sorry, but could you and Nadia move to this new house of yours a bit earlier than you had previously planned?
I understand. But still, I wonder what Dad intends on doing from now on. I mean, no matter what Dad says, the truth is that you pay for all the rent plus my living expenses. Without you, this family wouldn't be able to support itself financially.
I gave up trying to explain it to him. Not only does he not understand a word I say, even when I explain it to him very carefully, but he also acts as if he's the one who's right all of the time. I don't think a person like that will ever understand until they're faced with the reality.
Yep. You know Dad best after all. I think you should do whatever you think is best, Mother. Just know that me and Nadia are on your side.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to leave now. You're at that one day job of yours now, right? I just turned in the divorce papers earlier and I just got done packing right now, so I'm going to leave now.
Oh, finally. You know, I was actually starting to get a little impatient and thought of kicking you out by force.
Is that so? I mean, I had to find a new place to live and sign the necessary contracts as soon as my night shift ended, so it couldn't be helped.
Yeah, whatever. What about Nadia? When is she going to be moving in?
I don't know the details, but apparently she's going to be moving around the same time I leave.
Oh, so that means she's going to be here by tomorrow.
What? I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm going to be canceling the contract of this house, so no one's going to be moving in by tomorrow.
What? What do you mean you're canceling the contract?
I mean, I'm the legal owner of this house, and if I'm going to be leaving, then it's only natural that I cancel the contract, don't you think? I already explained this to you several times, didn't I?
Wait, hold on. If you really are the legal owner or something, then just let Glauco be the legal owner instead. Do the necessary paperwork with the landowners and make it happen.
That's impossible.
Come on, Maria. Do you understand what you're saying right now? The three of us are supposed to live in this house from now on. You can't just cancel the contract because of your selfishness. Is it all right with you if me and your son become homeless?
But I heard that Glauco and Nadia already found a new place to live. It looks like you have a lot of misunderstandings, but you do know that Glauco proposed to Nadia because he was relocated to another region at his job, right? They're going to be moving to near Glauco's new workplace once they get married. Which means that the 1,000 euros a month he was kind enough to give us for our living expenses until now will also be gone.
Huh? What do you mean 1,000 euros a month for living expenses? You mean that he pays 1,000 euros a month to the rent, right?
That's the next thing I wanted to tell you. I pay for all of the rent here.
What? You were paying 1,200 euros a month and not 200?
You've got that wrong as well. The rent is 2,000 euros a month, not 120 euros a month.
2,000 euros a month?
All of this is your fault, you know. The fact that me and Glauco have to step up like this.
Huh? What do you mean it's my fault?
The fact that your company went bankrupt 3 years ago can't be helped, and it wasn't your fault. But after that, you seem to have zero motivation to go out and find another job. All you did ever since then was work one-day jobs when you felt like it. You would earn 800 euros in a good month, but only 300 euros on bad months. We were only able to rent this house that cost 2,000 euros a month in the first place because both of us had proper jobs at the time. Then you lost your job, but for some reason you refused to move. Since you had no intention of finding a proper job again, the only choice we had was for me to work harder than before. Do you understand? That was the situation at the time, so I told the company about it and made a request asking them to let me work night shifts, which pay well. Even after all that, we were still only barely able to get by, which is why Glauco gave us 1,000 euros a month from his own salary. I was really thankful for his help, but I was also ashamed I had to rely on my own son since my husband was such a mess.
I didn't understand much of what you said, but does that mean I'm going to be living in this house on my own from now on?
No. Like I said, I'm canceling the contract on this house, so you need to leave by the end of next month. Unless, of course, you want to buy it for yourself, although, considering how much money you make a month, I think that's impossible.
But, so, all of you are just going to leave me? Why in the world did it come to this?
I can't bother to explain myself to you anymore, so why don't you think of why this happened yourself?
Tell me!
No, I'm done explaining things to you all the time, since it clearly has no effect.
So you're just going to ignore the demands of your husband? I'm the pillar of this family, and you have to do what I say.
But I just turned in our divorce papers to the city hall. You're not my husband anymore, Lucio. And you definitely weren't the pillar of this family, especially these last few years.
But...
Fine, I'll give you a hint as to what was the cause of all of this.
A hint? Tell me!
Delusional princess. Goodbye.
Huh? What do you mean, delusional princess? That hint is too hard to understand. Give me another one!
The first thought that came to me after I got divorced was, I should have done this sooner. I knew that once my son got married and left the house, we wouldn't be able to maintain our current lifestyle, as he wouldn't be able to give 1,000 euros a month to us anymore. I talked with Lucio about this and tried to convince him into moving into a cheaper apartment, but he seemed to like this house a lot and refused to move out. What happened next, you already know. After I canceled the contract, my husband now had nowhere to go and was also practically unemployed. It seems that even he understood that he was in trouble and that he had to do something. So he went to the job hunting center to find a job. It seems he found a job that came with housing, but apparently that personality of his still hasn't changed. He keeps saying these extremely delusional things that, at best, confuse everyone. And he even tries to get the younger employees who've been working there longer than him to do what he says. Because of this, no one wants to be anywhere near him, and so he spends his free time being alone and lonely.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Beth Ann. Is it true? Is it true you're getting remarried? I heard he was the up-and-coming hotshot son of the president of a major company who's set to take on his daddy's title of CEO one day. Are the rumors true? Hello, Erina. Sure, I guess he is technically going to be the CEO one day, but it's really not as glamorous as you make it sound. And the company's definitely not as major as you make it sound. But you will still be the CEO's wife, right? Right? I can't believe you lucked out this hard on your second marriage. I'm not gonna lie, babe, I am mega jealous. Go on, spill the beans. How did you seduce him? What's the secret to bagging yourself a high roller like that? I'm all ears. That's kind of a crass question, Erina. Would you mind not asking me stuff like that? if you must know, we met at work. We started out just as co-workers and, well, it just kind of developed from there. Oh, don't play dumb with me. You may have started out as co-workers, but you must have known he had prospects when you found out he was the president's son. You have your sights set on the title of CEO's wife, right? I didn't even know who his dad was until he proposed to me. You literally couldn't be any wider off the mark if you tried. I see. So, playing dumb was a part of your scheme right from the very start. I have to hand it to you, Beth Ann. You are more cunning than people give you credit for. I never had you down as such a schemer. You go, girl. You're wrong. It's not like that at all. Okay, dear. We can go with that if it makes you feel better. Anyway, I take it you'll be inviting me to the wedding, since we became such good friends after our boys met at kindergarten, right? Huh? The wedding? Of course! You'll be pulling out all the stops to make the wedding of a lifetime, I assume. I bet it'll be a ceremony so lavish, even royalty would feel jealous. He is the future CEO, after all. I mean, sure. Well, I guess we don't plan on making it super low budget or anything, but it's not like it's gonna be huge either. To tell you the truth, we're just planning on having a small ceremony with no one but friends and family, so we won't be inviting any of the moms from kindergarten, which, well, I'm sorry to say, means you won't be getting an invite. Ooh, wow, why such a tightwad? My fiancé has his own reasons for not wanting to go overboard. He's once divorced himself, and we both agreed that after all the pomp, ceremony, and more importantly, stress of our first weddings, we're not really that bothered about going through the hassle again. Something smaller scale seemed best for the both of us. But Casey, the mom of one of the other boys in our boys' class, is going. I overheard her talking about it with some of the other moms in the courtyard outside the kindergarten, so don't even try and deny it. Why wouldn't you invite me when we're all part of the same kindergarten moms group? It's not fair of you to leave me out like this. I will not be ostracized. Casey's my sister-in-law. Her coming to the wedding has nothing to do with kindergarten. Huh? She's my little brother's wife. Surely you can see how that makes her family. I'm not leaving anyone out, I can assure you. Oh, really? She's your sister-in-law. Oh, well, my bad. I guess I kind of just assumed you already knew. Most of the other moms do. Really? I had no idea. I haven't invited any of the moms from kindergarten, and that's the truth. So I'm really sorry, but you won't be getting an invite. Fine, I'll give you some Tupperware. Huh? Tupperware? Be a darling and fill it with some of the luxury food from the buffet, won't you? If you do that, I'll forgive you. For the main course, I'll take meat. Make sure to fill it with plenty of mashed potatoes, too. I just love mashed potatoes. Whoa, what the... Are you kidding me? Come on, Erina, I can't do that. What? I'm kindly willing to compromise on not being invited to the wedding, and even this is too much for you? Taking food out of the wedding venue is banned for hygiene reasons. They explained the rules when we registered with them, and they were pretty clear about that one. Goodness gracious me. Would it really harm you to sneak some out? Everyone knows the rules at these places are nothing but formalities. No one expects you to actually follow them. And what exactly are you basing that on? Why would they have rules in place if they weren't supposed to be followed? No, Erina, this is ridiculous. I can't risk getting fined to get you a few slices of beef and some cold mashed potatoes. You know, I never had you down as being this kind of person, but it really is a shame what a tightwad you can be sometimes. That makes me a tightwad, does it? I can't believe it. You're a single mother fresh out of divorce court after your last husband found out you were cheating on him. What? But in spite of carrying around more baggage than a Boeing 737, you somehow managed to luck out and bag yourself a CEO. The least you could do is share some of your miraculous fortune with your friends, you penny-pinching tightwad. You won't have any friends left before long if you carry on like this. Erina, there's something you seem to be making a major misunderstanding about. Do you mind if I set the record straight? What? It wasn't me who cheated, it was my ex-husband. Huh? Hang on. Seriously? I see how it is. So this is why you've been looking down your nose at me this whole time and speaking to me like crap, isn't it? Based on a freaking baseless misunderstanding? Wow. Oh, Oopsie, that reminds me we don't have any cucumbers left. Excuse me, dear, I'll have to rush to the supermarket at once. See ya! Wow, you're unreal. Beth Ann, I haven't seen you around kindergarten at all lately, which means other than already knowing who your fiancé is and what kind of venue the wedding's being held at, I haven't been able to get any extra information, which means I had no choice but to follow you. So this is where you're tying the knot, huh? I gotta hand it to you, babe. It's a beautiful place. So this is where you two were planning to get married at today, was it? Well, I'm sorry, darling, but it's time for you to give me back the groom. I hate to break this to you on such short notice, but I'll be the one marrying your fiancé today. Beth Ann, you poor thing. It looks like the groom didn't turn up and your wedding got canceled, huh? I'm so sorry, dear. What can I say? I'm just too drop-dead gorgeous. No man on this planet can resist me. Just like I told you before, it was time for you to give me back the groom. I know this might be difficult for you to accept, but I want you to behave like a mature, responsible adult by letting go of him and struggling on with your life as a lonely single mother without bothering us ever again. Do you think you can do that for me, sweetie pie? Huh? Erina, what's going on? I've been super busy all morning. I only just saw your messages. What do you mean by give you back the groom? I don't understand. What are you talking about? Aha! There you are. Why, hello, Beth Ann. You sure were slow to notice. There's no going back now. We just got done with our 5th round of steamy, passionate lovemaking. That man really is a stallion. I seriously don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about. I did expect you to ask some questions, and I suppose answering them is the least I can do for you since I did kind of destroy your entire life today. The groom at your wedding today is my ex-boyfriend. Huh? Your ex-boyfriend? I just so happened to catch sight of you and my ex-boyfriend walking around town all loved up not long after I heard you were set to get remarried. I was so shocked my jaw almost hit the floor, so I decided to do a little digging. I found out that my ex-boyfriend's dad was making his preparations to retire from his position as CEO at their industrial waste disposal company, meaning he's next in line as president. I knew this was finally my chance to marry into money by becoming the wife of a CEO, and I wasn't prepared to waste it. Which is why I doubled my investigative efforts, and after a little more digging, I found out where you guys were planning on getting married today. Wow, are you serious? You went to all those lengths? That's not normal. I'm so disgusted right now, I can't even find the words to express it. There's no use in getting all hysterical and panicking now, dear. Your wedding today already got canceled, right? What are you talking about? No, it didn't. Lies, lies. Come on, Beth Ann, you can't hide from reality any longer. Wake up and smell the coffee. We just got back together and went at it like rabbits in the hotel next door. Excuse me? We're still together now, of course. Hang on a sec. You have a husband, don't you? You're not divorced, are you? Don't be jealous just because I'm a hit with the boys and you're not, babe. It's so not attractive. That's not what I mean. I mean, you're cheating on your husband. You have the nerve to accuse me of cheating while being completely wrong, and then you go off and have an affair of your own? What the hell is wrong with you? Yeah, I've heard enough of your jealous prattering now. How about you put a lid on that whining foghorn mouth of yours and just be happy for me and your man instead? I get you must be incredibly salty at missing out on your long-awaited chance to bag yourself a rich, high-flying CEO and being guaranteed absolute financial security for the rest of your life. But that's your problem, sweetie, not mine. Just give up on him, okay? Listen to me, Erina. Today's wedding went by without a hitch, and me and my husband are now officially married. Huh? We're about to head to the after party. Wait a minute, what the? Erina, who the hell are you cheating on your husband with? You know, this is getting sad now. Why not just accept reality already? It'll be a lot less painful for you in the long run. Gotta go. My big hunky stallion is calling me back into bed. Time for round 6. Toodles! Erina, wait! Hello, Beth Ann, dear. It's been a while. Guess what? Me and your ex-fiancé are officially getting married. I haven't seen you at the kindergarten in months, so I had no choice but to go out of my way to bring you the good news on here. The divorce proceedings with my current husband are finally looking like they're about to go through. This pretty much already makes me the CEO's wife. I'm so happy. Hello, Erina. Long time no speak. The reason you haven't been seeing me around the kindergarten is because I moved to another town to live with my husband after the wedding. Huh? Of course, my son came with me and now goes to a different kindergarten, so I'd say the chances of me and you ever seeing each other again are pretty slim. What? You've got to be joking me. Don't say such crazy things, babe. I know for a fact you didn't get married. How could you when I stole the groom? You totally ignored me back when I told you this before, so allow me to repeat myself. Mine and my husband's wedding went by without a hitch, and we're happily married now. Who the hell do you think you stole from me? What do you mean, who? My ex-boyfriend, Jeremy, of course. Huh? Jeremy? Yes, Jeremy! We were high school sweethearts. We started dating in our second year after he came over and introduced himself to me in chemistry class. Oh, him? He's my brother-in-law. Huh? Your brother-in-law? Ah, I see. No way. So that's where he went on the day of the wedding. What? What are you talking about? I didn't marry Jeremy. I married Jamie, his identical twin brother. His identical twin brother? Yep. You mean you didn't know? I'm actually pretty impressed that you managed to be his girlfriend and not find out about him. I get that it was a long time ago, and you could be forgiven for mistaking them for one another since they're identical twins and all, but that doesn't justify cheating. What you're doing is just plain wrong, Erina. Whatever, that's irrelevant. Jeremy is at least the one who'll be inheriting their father's company, right? Right? No, that's Jamie. Oh my God. Jeremy was always the black sheep of the family. He got in with a bad crowd, started doing drugs, went to jail for armed robbery, and eventually got disowned by their parents. Drugs? Armed robbery? Disowned? We were slightly concerned he might try showing up at our wedding with all of their relatives being gathered there 5 months ago. When he didn't show up, we figured he didn't care enough to, and that we'd been worrying for nothing. But now it all makes sense. I see. So he did go to the venue, he just didn't end up gate crashing the whole thing because he ran into you outside by coincidence, huh? I guess he found himself powerless to resist the advances of his ex-girlfriend and agreed to go with you to the hotel. And that's why we never saw him? I guess we owe you a thank you. Oh, there's one more thing you should know. Jeremy's in mountains of debt. What? Something tells me things are about to get really rough for you. Oh my God! Beth Ann, help! What am I supposed to do? I don't have any money. My ex-husband is demanding a ridiculous amount of compensation from me, but I don't have any money. I thought Jeremy would be able to pay it all off because he was in line to become the president of his dad's company. Oh my God, I couldn't have been more wrong. I have no idea how he managed to come up with the cash on such short notice despite already being in crazy amounts of debt, but Jeremy immediately paid off his half of the compensation and refused to help me with mine. He said I have to come up with the money myself somehow. Oh, and he's not just in mountains of debt. It also turned out he's been seeing 3 other girls behind my back. He dumped me. To make matters worse, my ex-husband flat out refused to remarry me, and on top of charging me compensation, he won custody of our son, blocked my number, took my boy, and moved out of state. I can't get through to my parents, and besides, I doubt that they'd help me after all this time, even if I could. Please, Beth Ann, I have no one else to rely on. I am so alone. I can't believe I have to come up with all of this money on my own. Beth Ann, what am I supposed to do? I feel so lost. Hello? Bethann, are you there? Bethann, please respond. Stop leaving my messages on red. Ugh! I was a little confused when my phone suddenly started blowing up with notifications, but it turned out to be Erina's desperate pleas for help. I did feel a little sorry for her for about a millionth of a second, but I figured nothing good could possibly come of replying to her, so I let her carry on in the hopes she'd realize the futility of messaging me and give up. When the messages calmed down, I blocked her. As for what happened after that, apparently Jeremy, my disgraced brother-in-law, in his desperation to get a hold of the compensation money he owed Erina's ex-husband, borrowed some money from some very bad people. I can't say for sure, but something tells me that might be why he suddenly disappeared and no one's heard from him in months. As for Erina, she incessantly begged for money in the kindergarten moms group chat, but was promptly told in no uncertain terms to get lost and stick her whining where the sun don't shine. Last I heard, there have been multiple sightings of her going into the seedy, run-down hotel by the station with a bunch of different guys recently. I hope she hasn't gone into that line of work, but to be honest, since I'll never see or hear from her again, I'm just gonna forget about the whole thing and focus on enjoying my own life.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.